Hey, what's going on, guys? This is AndrewChicken, and welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be playing some American! Yes, God bless America. I love this skin. The glorious meme. Oh, it's beautiful. They're never going to top this skin when it comes to American skins, and I think that's why they stopped making American skins, because every American skin that's come out since this, it just hasn't been the same. This is so much better. But yeah, the reason we're playing Khan today is because I want to talk about what makes Khan the best off-tank in the game right now. Not just one of the best off-tanks, no, the best off-tank in the game. Because there's a lot that is really good about this guy right now. And so we're going to dive into that in today's video. Hopefully, the gameplay is actually good and I don't totally flop. That is always a possibility when I'm commentating over live gameplay, right? But yeah, also, real quick, I want to remind you, the reason why you've seen me wear the same shirt multiple days in a row, this glorious jacket, this necklace that keeps slipping under my shirt, this shirt, is because I'm recording all the videos on the same day. I'm on vacation. I'm pre-recording these videos in advance, and that's why you're not seeing streams from me either this week, because I'm just, I'm taking a week-long break, I gotta take some time off every now and then, right? So, yeah, that's a friendly reminder, I guess. But yeah, back to the Khan gameplay. I mean, we've got triple tank here. Ying Heals should be able to keep us alive, though. But then we've got Strix versus another double tank comp on the enemy team. They've got Atlas Yag, double support, Octavia. I don't know how good Strix is going to be against that. But hopefully I, as American, can be the difference maker here. So we're going to go Storm of Bullets. This talent is the first reason why Khan is busted right now. Storm of Bullets gives Khan the best damage per second, single target damage per second in the tank class. This damage is insane. We're also going to grab this build, which is what I usually run with Khan. We have cooldown on Battle Shout, healing while Bulwark is active, and max HP. I've seen some people run the max ammo card at level 4 or 5. You could definitely do that as well if you wanted maybe that instead of cooldown on Battle Shout or health or whatever. Just swap it out for one of these 3 cards. It's up to you. But this is what I like to run. And this DPS is absolutely absurd. It is quite literally the highest DPS in the tank class, single target DPS. Because not only is the raw DPS really high, it's close to 1,000, something like that, but you can also hit headshots with it, which obviously pairs well with PC and assist, but even without it, you can still, really amplify your damage by doing that. And unlike some of the other high DPS characters in the tank class, like Ruckus and Rom, Khan doesn't slow himself when he shoots at all, meaning he has full motility while using this gun. And it has pretty decent range, too. It's not, great, but, it's still really, really good. And that is obviously something that you like having in tanks, are a bit of range. That definitely helps make them a lot stronger. One of the other reasons why Khan is so good right now, by the way, is what I just did right there. Khan has some of the best self-sustain in the tank class. And even though it's not necessarily as high as Rom's, in terms of the base, raw healing per second that you can theoretically achieve, it is still... Ow. It is still a really good burst, and it's about the consistency, right? The consistency of this is very high. In late game, you can still get the full value out of Khan's heal by holding up your shield, waiting for Cauterize to wear off, and then using the Battle Shout. And that's a luxury that not every tank has. And also, this heal extends to other players as well. I can come up here, I can hit Inara with that, bam, there we go, she just got 1,200 healing from a tank, by the way. Uh-oh. Team, help me out here. Yes, thank you guys. Appreciate that. And then we can go ahead and hit that stun. There we go, she dies. Perfect. But the Battle Shout also, as if the heal wasn't good enough, it also provides Khan damage immunity, meaning he can tank infinite damage with it. He can just block a Sky Bomb casually or anything of that sort, which is really disgusting. That is insane, right? Oop, well, I missed her, but I also dodged the ult, so I guess that's a win? Oh my gosh, stuff is happening right now. Let me get up here and just heal you. There you go, friend. But yeah, that is really, really good as well, for obvious reasons. And on top of that, the shield has a good amount of HP too. It's pretty bad at protecting teammates, because it's so small, but it's good enough at protecting Khan, and that gives him an extra layer of defense if he's up too far and needs to reposition safely, right? That's really, really good. And because it's a shield, the enemies, they have to buy Wrecker for it, and also they don't get ult charge or, life rip or anything by shooting it, and they don't apply Cauterize to you, which, like I mentioned in the ROM video the other day, is, something that's very good about shields, and it's something very bad about ROM, right? Please die. Ah, the shield's in the way, okay. And then, yeah, I mean, his movement ability isn't the greatest for actual movement. It does come attached with a stun, and that extra bit of crowd control is nice, I won't act like it's, you know, the craziest ability in the world. It's definitely not the reason you pick Khan, but it is still pretty nice. And one benefit of it is that it does pierce through shields. So if Fernando is holding up a shield, you can hit the grab through the shield and actually lower his defenses by doing that, which is huge value. That's actually really nice. Like Furia just did to me. I'm going to die now. So that's really, really good, too. But then, we come to the cream of the cream, or the cream of the crop, or the creme de la creme, whatever the phrase is. It's French or something, I don't know. The ultimate is absolutely bonkers. This ultimate is so good. The ultimate is basically just a free execute, as long as you have teammates near you who can do the dirty work of shooting them, right? Or I guess in the case of Yagroth, it's just a stun. Yag is just weird. Hello, you know what? Let's just stun her in place. There we go. Did 800 damage to her, and that's a free kill. But yeah, it's basically a guaranteed kill. It's basically an execute on a tank, but it's long range, and it's just really reliable. And even if you don't have teammates nearby who can capitalize on it, you can still potentially combo with something, right? Like you can throw someone off the map. That's a classic. That is obviously something that people love doing with Khan. But even if you don't do that, there's still more strategies that you can employ. For instance, if someone is flanking your team, you can grab them and then you can throw them to the other side of the map, and that's an easy way to get them off your team. Or let's say Fernando ults to try and counter your ultimate. Well, you can just throw that person further into your backline, getting them really out of position. They're still likely going to die anyways. So that's really good too. And it's such a good ultimate. There is no understating how good Khan's ult is. It's one of the best in the game. Even if the enemy's by Rezo, it's still a multi-second stun that makes them vulnerable and exposed to all the damage from your team. And also, I already have my ult back. That's another really good thing about this ultimate, is its consistency. Because... No, Fernando, you can't ult to save me from that. I needed you to shoot her. Oh, no. But because his DPS is so high with Storm of Bullets, he is able to really build up that ultimate quickly, especially also when you pair it with the heal. It's really, really good uptime. And if you pair it with Ray or someone like Octavio as well with the ult passive, you get this ultimate really quickly. And guess what? I'm also going to buy some morale boost. That just boosted my ult charge even further. I'm going to be able to spam this ultimate like there's no tomorrow. It's so good. So even though Khan definitely lacks in the mobility department, he's still able to make a lot of space because of his battle shout and his shield. And the fact that he just puts out so much constant pressure with his damage, and then he can just ult someone out of position, and you know, he doesn't need to get himself out of position to kill them, he can bring them to him. It's Makoa's hook, but even better. And it's an ultimate. Like, it's really insane. So like, if you're not playing Khan right now as your off-tank role in Ranked, you should really consider picking this guy up because he is awesome. He is super, super strong. Come here. Yang! Strix! Shoot her! Yeah! Gonna throw her. She should die now. Yeah, there we go. Easy. Not quite enough DPS out of the team there, but that's okay. I'm gonna kill you. There we go. Perfect. And yeah, like, you really should try and learn this guy. He's also pretty easy, too. That's the thing. Like, there's only some basic things you need to remember with this character, right? For starters, you need to remember with the ultimate that there's actually a bit of delay to it. I made a short talking about it that was actually pretty popular. When you cast the ultimate, it doesn't, like, instantly grab the person. There's, like, half a second of delay. So if you move your target off of the player in that half a second span, then you'll miss the ultimate, even though when you initially press the button, your aim was on the target. So that is something to keep in mind, right? You want to be careful with that. You want to make sure you're constantly tracking them the entire time in your ultimate, or at the very least, make sure you're on them by the end of that delay, because that is super, super important. So I don't think we're going to be able to touch. Oh, ow. Yeah, jeez. But also, yeah, like I mentioned earlier, that tactic where you hold your shield up to cleanse Cauterize before you use the battle shot, very important. It gets way more important the longer the match goes on, because obviously in 90% Cauterize, if you don't cleanse that Cauterize, then you're only getting about 100 healing from your battle shout, and that's no good. And also remember, as Khan, if you can, try and look out for your teammates and make sure you're healing them too. Again, waiting for Cauterize to wear off applies, right? Like with this Fernando here, I'm going to wait for that and then hit him with the 1350. If you can wait for Cauterize to wear off, that is a good thing to do, right? Yeah, like, make sure you use your heal for your teammates too, right? Because that is part of the value of playing Khan, is you are, you know, kind of a mini healer, and you can really help keep your teammates alive, just by the sheer power of that battle shout. I have been saved many times by well-timed battle shout from my fellow Khan, right? So that's really good. Uh-oh, can I save her? Or can I save him? Kill Yag? Oh, man. I was trying to hit those headshots there. It's really awkward. That's unlucky, man. I was giving it my all. Not enough deeps from the fact that we have triple tanks. One of whom is Fernando. I mean, it's really sad. Fernando really can't do anything with the Yag ult. His ult doesn't counter it, and then, like, he can't really shield it. And he can't really, like, do damage to her either, because he has the second lowest DPS in the game. Like, it's rough. But yeah, I mean, that's really, like, most of the tips I have for Khan. I guess another tip would be to be careful with using your movement ability, right? Because you don't want to try and get a stun on somebody when they're out in the open and you're just vulnerable. That being a very rare example, because I knew there wasn't anybody really looking at me apart from Yag at that time. Like, if you just use your grab in the middle of the open, like on the objective, for example, even though you are stunning the enemy and you're getting them in a vulnerable spot, you're also making yourself vulnerable because you're standing still and you're locked into that action. You can't, like, hold up your shield while you're doing it. So you want to be very careful with that, and you want to try and use your, you know, stun strategically at times when you know you're not going to have, like, overwhelming fire on you. Khan can take a little bit of heat, especially, I think, if you're using the card that gives you DR on the dash. But, you know, it's like, he can't take infinite damage during that, right? Oh! Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, I'm just going to use this for the immunity. Alright, we should be fine. Hello, she's ulting again. I'm trying! I got stunned! Oh, no. Oh, no. I need Rezo, man. Alright, let me pop back here. We got the Ying ult. Let me get Atlas off of our Ying if I can. I can't see anything. What is happening right now? Okay, shields up. I'm dead. Alright. Ouch. And then, yeah, I mean, as far as items go, it's really pretty typical. Morale boost is really good on Khan, obviously, and then the rest of the items are just normal tank items. Nimble, so you can push harder. Rejuve, so you can stay alive better. He actually got hit by Ying. Okay, I didn't need to do that. Get off Ying! Shoot him! Yes! Save the Ying. And then, yeah, I mean, Haven can be good. Chronos can be good for more battle shouts, especially if you're, you know, really trying to play around the battle shout with, like, you know, cooldown card on top of it, stuff like that. Wrecker is good on Khan because he has such high DPS. He's probably the best Wrecker in the tank class if you want to counter enemy shields. Obviously, the enemies don't have shields, so I'm not buying that in this instance. Aw, bless you, Khan. Thank you, Ying. I'm happy to save you, as long as you keep me healed, right? Mutually beneficial relationship. Yeah, very, very typical items. If you wanted to be extra silly, you could buy Deft Hands, especially if you're not using the ammo card. Maybe I'll do that after I max out the rest of my items if this game goes long. Because that's just, it's fun, right? And yeah, I mean, you know, if you pump out more damage, that is a boost to your ult charge, right? Yeah! 3, 2, anyways, here we go. Let's try and cap this objective now. Sadly, we don't have too many ultimates apart from Fernando's and Inara's. Obviously, really good ultimates there, but, you know, it would be better if we had all of ours. I'll try and quickly build my ult up then. Yep, building up. I'm already up to 40% from 20% just by shooting Yag. That is perfect. Probably want to be shooting some of the other enemies, though. That was a bad battle shot. I don't know why I did that. I'm not a perfect Khan player. I actually... Even though I'm telling you guys you should check out Khan and play him some more, I don't actually play that much Khan. Like, even though I have every character at level 50, I still don't play every character, you know? A lot of characters I kind of just got to 50, and then don't really touch that often after getting them to 50, because I'm a gold skin collector. And, you know, I guess I would say I play Khan more than some other characters, like Vivian. I don't know. Not my top-tier, most fun tank to play, personally, but that's just, you know, that's just me. That's not to remark on his power or anything, it's just... I like doing what I like to do, you know. You know how it is. And even though Khan is the best off-tank in the game, that doesn't mean you can't do good at other off-tanks either. I would say the tank class is actually pretty well-balanced right now for the most part. In terms of, you know, after those recent Inara and Nyx nerfs, you can actually play most tanks pretty reasonably. Fernando's seen a lot of time in the sun now that he's more competitively viable, relative to the other two tanks that I just mentioned. Barrack, same way. And yeah, a lot of off-tanks are really good. Azan's really good. Ruckus is good if you know how to play him. Torvald's obviously really good. Yagharoth, I never like talking about Yagharoth because I simply don't understand her, but I guess if you're good at her, then she can work. She's so weird. She's just a weirdo. Well, yeah, I mean, I can go on and on. Like, there aren't really that many bad tanks in the game, apart from maybe Rom. Terminus isn't, like, the strongest. And, I mean, like, I'm not a super huge fan of Ashe either, but I probably don't give her enough credit. And especially on a map like Ice Mines, she can also be pretty valuable. It's like, there's just a lot of variety in tanks right now. You can play pretty much anybody. And that's something I really like to see in a class, you know? A class where everything is viable. Heck yeah. I love tanks, you know? Which I guess is an unpopular opinion in gaming, because I know generally tank is one of the more hated roles to play, but I don't know, I enjoy it. I like being the big guy who makes the space and gets the kills. I just view tank most of the time as a big DPS, and I play them like it. And it's fun, you know? Yeah, but not for everybody, I suppose. Yeah, I do like that about the tank class. I mean, I wish the same could be said for other classes. And in some ways, I guess it kind of can be. Like, the flank class is generally, arguably, in a similar position where the tank class is... Or the flank class is, like, you know, there's a lot of really viable stuff in there. But I feel like a lot of the viable stuff in there also annoys people, so... I guess it's maybe more controversial to say they're also, like, decently balanced. Because they're a lot more annoying than tanks. But the damage class might arguably be the most imbalanced class in terms of, like, what, like, I guess the variability in the class between what's viable and what's not. Even though support, I have been saying, is, you know, on the whole too strong right now, at least now there are a lot of supports that you can play. There's Ying, Io, Furia, Grover, Lilith. Okay, maybe it is still a little bit awkward. But, yeah. Then you go over to the damage champions, and it's like, okay, who's good in the damage class? Bomb King. Drogo's, but only if he's not countered. Otherwise, he's kind of trash. Tyra, but mostly because of Hunter's Mark, right? Hunting Party. I guess there's Octavia and Vivian if you're on controller. Maybe Victor as well. Although Victor, I think, is pretty weak just because he's so easy to dive. Yeah, I don't know, man. I might be forgetting, like, one person. And then you look at the lows of the class, and it's like, oh, poor Imani. Oh yeah, Shaolin, that's who I'm forgetting. Shaolin's really good, specifically because he counters flanks. But then you look at what's, like, weak in that class, and it's like, oh, Imani is, like, basically unplayable right now. Vic, like I said, really weak to dive and stuff like that. Even though he has, like, good DPS, sustained DPS versus tanks, it's just like, oh, a single Eevee is on the enemy team. Guess I'll die. Snipers, oof, Kinessa's awful. Strix, at least a little bit better, but still, you know, he's not, like, perfect or anything. I was just like, oh, okay. Damage class is wonky. Also, we got a touch point. I need to ult somebody, too. But I might just die, honestly. Inara's making a break for the point. We don't have mobility to touch, though. Yeah. Unlucky.
No, this cannot be!
So yeah, I guess class balance is kind of an interesting subject in Paladins, isn't it? Obviously, let me know what you think about everything I've said in this video in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think about Khan. Let me know what you think about the class balance that I've been talking about. Am I crazy? I don't know. And let's take a look at the stats here. Strix did end up getting 15 kills, which is pretty good, especially against the comp that he was against. And yeah. 3 tanks is kind of a weird strategy, I'm not gonna lie. The Yag actually did pretty good. She got 10 kills, 97,000 damage, and Octavia is just such a good DPS. I don't know if she was roller or not, but regardless, she just has really high sustained damage versus tanks. And, you know, if you're gonna go 3 tanks, I feel like we didn't have the right comp for that. Like, honestly, might consider dropping Inara from that comp, unless you just wanted her to be the rock on the point, in which case you'd probably swap out Fernando for another more capable off-tank. And maybe someone with a bit more mobility, someone who can make more space. Maybe a Zon, I don't know. But, yeah, kind of a goofy comp. And, yeah, I said at the start of the video, this match might be horrible and kind of work against my point that Khan is the strongest off-tank in the game, but trust me, he is. That was just a goofy match, and like I also said, I'm not that great at playing him. I don't play him that much, so, you know, do as I say, not as I do. Classic moment of that, right? But yeah, if you enjoyed this video today, make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload from me. And also, if you want to support me and keep me doing what I do, making videos, making streams for you full-time, then consider supporting this channel in a number of ways. I've actually advertised the memberships program a few times, so I think I'll switch it up and advertise instead the Nexus. If you go to nexus.gg/AndrewChicken, you can buy crystals and a whole bunch of extra DLC for the game, like, you know, those mount packs, you can buy the Interstellar Stallion pack, stuff like that. And a portion of the proceeds actually go to supporting me, which is pretty nice. And it's an officially sanctioned thing by Hi-Rez. That's the whole reason why they're able to do it in the first place. And I would really appreciate it if you would check it out the next time you're interested in buying some crystals. But yeah, with all that being said, thank you guys for watching. I will see you all next time. Peace out.